Micah Parsons remains at the center of contract extension discussions in Dallas, and the latest developments suggest a continued delay. According to ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, the Cowboys are not currently prioritizing a deal for the All-Pro linebacker, though they are expected to revisit negotiations more seriously once training camp resumes. This approach, described by Fowler as relaxed, has drawn criticism given the timing and stakes involved. Fowler noted that team officials are currently dispersed, many on personal vacations, and that organizational attention is expected to sharpen as the season approaches. Historically, the Cowboys have executed major contract extensions late in the preseason calendar, typically in late August or early September. Previous examples include deals with Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. However, the pattern of waiting until late in the process has often proven costly. Delays in securing long-term contracts have repeatedly inflated the team's financial obligations. As market values rise, each passing month without a resolution increases the eventual cap hit and total cost. Parsons is projected to command a record-setting contract, likely becoming the highest-paid non-quarterback in NFL history, a figure that may surpass the $35 million per year benchmark recently set by Justin Jefferson. Fowler emphasized that Parsons' case differs from veterans such as T.J. Watt or Trey Hendrickson, who are navigating third contract negotiations in their 30s. Parsons, entering his prime in his mid-20s, is positioned for a landmark deal. Despite the current lull, the expectation remains that Dallas will finalize the extension before the regular season begins. That said, the lack of urgency raises broader concerns. The front office's continued pattern of deferring major deals until late stages of the offseason reflects a strategy that may no longer serve the franchise well in a rapidly evolving financial landscape. Ensuring foundational players like Parsons remain under contract should be a clear organizational priority, especially for a team with championship aspirations. Whether Dallas reaches an agreement before training camp is now the focal point. Until then, speculation will persist around the timing and scope of Parsons' eventual extension. The financial landscape for top-tier NFL defenders and wideouts continues to evolve rapidly, and the implications for Micah Parsons' upcoming deal are massive. We've seen the market move dramatically this offseason. Max Crosby pulled in $35.5 million per year. Danielle Hunter landed $35.6 million. Myles Garrett reached $40 million annually, and Ja'Marr Chase topped that with $40.25 million. That's the going rate now. Elite production means elite compensation. But in today's NFL, guaranteed money matters just as much, if not more, than average annual value. And only Myles Garrett has surpassed Nick Bosa in total guarantees. That benchmark is likely what Parsons' camp is eyeing. He's younger, more explosive, and arguably more disruptive than anyone else on that list. He knows his worth, and so does the rest of the league. T.J. Watt, who could ink a deal before Parsons, might briefly hold the top spot. But make no mistake, once Micah signs, the record won't last long. Still, these massive numbers, and the complexity behind guaranteed money structures, are likely why we haven't seen a deal finalized just yet for either of them. Now let's shift to the trenches. Jeremy Fowler also provided updates on Tyler Smith, the Cowboys' versatile and powerful offensive lineman. Smith is eligible for an extension and is widely regarded as one of the premier young guards in football. While Dallas does have more time to work with thanks to the fifth-year option, the urgency may spike depending on what happens in Kansas City. Trey Smith, the Chiefs' standout guard, is working against a looming deadline. Kansas City has until July 5th at 4 p.m. Eastern to finalize his deal, and according to insider reports, they're close to punching it in at the goal line. The terms of Trey's contract will almost certainly set the bar for what Tyler Smith can command in Dallas. Right now, Trey Smith technically holds the highest annual salary for a guard at $23.4 million, but that's due to the franchise tag, an outlier in contract structure. Once his new deal drops, that number could shift. Will he reset the market again? Will he edge out Landon Dickerson's deal? What about the guaranteed money? For context, Robert Hunt recently signed a 5-year contract worth $20 million annually with major guarantees. That figure could serve as the floor for what Tyler Smith seeks. But here's the good news for Dallas fans. This is one deal the Cowboys are playing smart. Let Trey Smith get paid first. Let the numbers become official. Then structure Tyler Smith's extension accordingly. That strategy isn't just sound, it's necessary in a market that's shifting by the month. The Cowboys have major investments to make. But timing and leverage are everything. And for both Micah Parsons and Tyler Smith, the stakes have never been higher. Once Trey Smith gets his deal done in Kansas City, it's almost inevitable that Tyler Smith's value will climb even higher. That's just how the market works in the NFL. Contracts don't exist in a vacuum. If you believe Tyler Smith is one of the best guards in football, then when it's time to pay him, he should be compensated like it. So, whether you rank him the number 1 guard or number 7, if he's in that elite tier, he's going to demand and deserve top-of-the-line money. That's the reality of building a roster around young stars. And if Dallas truly believes in Tyler Smith as a foundational piece on that offensive line, then they need to be ready to make him the highest-paid guard in the league when the moment comes. Still, don't be shocked if that moment doesn't happen this off-season. It's possible the Cowboys hold off until next year. Several factors complicate this negotiation, starting with the pending contract of Trey Smith, which could completely reshape the market for guards. Tyler also has leverage. The 5th-year option alone for 2026 is worth $21.27 million, already placing him among the top 2 salaries for NFL guards. And if you look ahead, a potential franchise tag in 2027 could soar close to, or even beyond, $30 million. Why? Because the NFL lumps all offensive linemen together for tag purposes, which means guards are paid like left tackles. That adds another layer of complexity. The Cowboys technically have up to 3 more years of team control with Tyler, including the 5th-year option and potential tag seasons. So, they're not under immediate pressure. But if Dallas waits too long, just like they have with other star players, they'll end up paying even more later. Sound familiar? This contract situation is starting to look eerily similar to the Micah Parsons timeline: delays, complications, and a skyrocketing price tag. Now, shifting focus to another veteran name still floating in free agency, Stephon Gilmore. The former Defensive Player of the Year recently made his intentions clear on the Money Down podcast. He wants to suit up this season, but he's also not rushing into anything. Gilmore emphasized that it's got to be the right situation, and that doesn't just mean a paycheck. He wants a real role, meaningful playing time, and the chance to win. He's not interested in riding the bench or joining a team with no postseason hopes. And he's certainly not looking to grind through a full training camp on a rebuilding roster. If Gilmore were open to signing for the veteran minimum, he'd already have 32 offers. But that's not where he's at in his career. He's still got something left in the tank, and he knows it. So where does that leave teams like Dallas? Well, if an injury happens in camp, or if cornerback depth starts looking thin, expect Gilmore's name to be back in serious circulation. And don't rule out a reunion with the Cowboys either. He was a valuable presence last season and could easily be again if the fit and the price are right. Bottom line, Stephon Gilmore isn't done. He's waiting for the right call, and someone's going to make it. If your outside cornerback group doesn't inspire confidence, then Stephon Gilmore is exactly the kind of veteran you should be looking at. Sure, at this stage of his career, Gilmore likely understands that he's not stepping into a long-term starting role. And yes, there's a possibility that over time he might lose his spot in the starting lineup. But for a team that needs stability and proven leadership in the secondary, his value remains undeniable. Right now, there might not be a massive market chasing him, But let's be real. You add Gilmore to your cornerback room, and your depth immediately improves. Compare that to rolling the dice on unproven players or former high picks who haven't lived up to expectations. It's night and day. Gilmore brings presence, poise, and production. Even if his best days are behind him, his football IQ and instincts still put him ahead of many active corners in the league. He doesn't have to be the lockdown CB1 anymore. He just needs to provide steady, reliable coverage and mentor the young guys. And let's be honest, both sides, Gilmore and any interested team, are probably just waiting. Gilmore wants to see which teams stay healthy through training camp. Teams want to evaluate their rosters before committing to a seasoned vet. It's a game of patience. Last year, Gilmore didn't sign until early August. That's likely the timeline again. Once injuries hit or roster battles go sideways, his phone will ring. And when it does, a team is going to get one of the smartest pickups of the offseason. So yes, there's real interest, and there should be. Because when you're trying to make a deep playoff push, having a battle-tested corner like Stephon Gilmore on your side might be the edge that makes all the difference.